Apparently, some random dude upstage Blizzard again. He built an entire secret zone for Classic Plus. Surely Blizzard would look at such a video and learn stuff from it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this video where I'm going over an idea for a way that Blizzard could potentially implement a new leveling zone in Classic Plus that not only fits into Classic's existing storylines, but layers in the possibility for new ones as well. I've put a shit ton of time into getting this set up and editing this video together, so I hope you enjoy. Whether you like it or hate it, please let me know what you think. With no further ado, meet
Instantaneously made a bald green orc warrior. I love this guy already.
Bald but cute. Our orc warrior will be taking us through the
Wait,
experience.
I saw that.
So, while the opening fly-through plays in the background, I want to outline in a little bit more detail what I'm going to share in this video. First is the baseline, sort of overall experience, the setting, the flow of quests, basically the experience that any player who stumbles into this content can expect to engage with. Through that, we'll discover a potential new faction on Azeroth that is introduced via this zone, one that could be used for future Classic Plus gameplay systems. Then we'll dive into two of the zone's secret objectives that require players to really be paying attention and exploring to stumble upon. And lastly, we'll take a final look at some of the zone's silent subplots and how they connect to existing stories in Classic WoW to show how the zone tells a deeper story than it may seem on the surface.
Wait, exploration inside of my MMORPG? Bro, WoWhead exists for a reason. Everything will be dead on mine the first second it releases, and everyone would know about it. You'd have to go the most optimal route to do like the secret fun stuff, even though now it's not even fun anymore, and it's not really a secret. Yeah, is there any other species to play besides a bald green orc in WoW? No. Guys, I told you, like, my perfect idea for an MMORPG is literally this. You have an MMORPG called the Giga Chad. All you can do is pick male, race, human, gender. Well, male, I said already. Class, guy with sword. That's it. That's all you do. No mages, no elves even. Like, definitely not gnomes. That's what you need to do, and you have the perfect MMORPG. And WoW almost nailed it. They were almost right, and then we got the Drakthir. Oh god. Base game? Yeah. Super secrets.
Alright, so Bald But Cute is ready to begin his questing experience in the Valley of Trials as he has millions of times before. But this time he notices something in the corner of his eye. Tucked away behind carts and crates is an interactable broom. One that's...
Yeah, sorry for pausing, guys, but I really have to say, like, whoever chooses that shade of green for the orc is kind of, it's a very dangerous person, and you should never come close to them in real life. That's like the Statue of Liberty green. I was never fond of this. These type of people always scared me. As an orc warrior main, by the way. You always go Thrall green, or just, you know, green. This is very, very alarming.
Seems to radiate with some kind of power. Bald But Cute grabs the broom and is not only teleported somewhere unknown, but finds himself transformed into a human. This is not an experience reserved for just orcs, though. Every race could stumble across a similar port key in their respective starting zones. Luckily for him, you know, if this freaks him out a little too much, there's a pair of ruby slippers in a chest at the foot of the bed, which will take him back home at any time. But assuming his interest is piqued by this turn of events, he steps out to discover a boy who claims to be his little brother, telling him that their mom is going to be absolutely pissed that he slept in again.
Wait, who's that
Heading
kid?
downstairs, his newfound mom is definitely pissed, laying into him that they're
bald,
now behind on prepping for tonight's dinner, so he better get started by gathering some gore-tusk livers for his brother's favorite pie.
Safe travels.
It's here that our handsome hero finally steps outside to discover himself in the town of Moonbrook, but not like the one he's experienced so many times in past playthroughs. The town, in contrast to its usual ruin and occupation by Defias bandits, is alive and bustling with townfolk going about their day.
Whoa. Okay, this is getting interesting. Hold? I think he's actually cooking, guys.
The sheriff in the town square has a favor to ask of you.
Greetings.
If you were already planning to head out into the fields, Would you mind checking on Farmer DeMont? He was in town earlier complaining about some invasion on his land, and it's got folks around town anxious. Stop by and see what's going on. So, you head out west of town, and just like the heroes of legend, start absolutely going to town on some boars.
Class. Oh my god, what a nostalgia bomb. Holy crap, that's loud though. Holy. Okay, that's a classic. That's a classic. Wait, just gonna slay all of them?
Nearby to find his field overrun by moles.
Damn.
Hey there.
He begs you to help him out, dealing with his mole problem, as his back just isn't what it used to be and the little critters just scamper away from him. Without even taking a second to mull it over, you get to work bashing some tiny skulls.
Okay, that seems pretty fun, actually. I like the slow settings.
You get so into it, in fact, that even after killing the last mole you need, you decide, fuck it, what's one more?
Yeah, make sure you link it. It's interesting. Yeah.
Finally awakening from your blind rage, you head back to the farmer, who thanks you and sends you back to town to tell the sheriff it was a false alarm. No actual invasion.
It was a mole invasion. You got him. They got.
What can I do for you?
The sheriff thanks you for helping him out and asks your help in another task.
He slash clapped.
Thinning out the growing population of coyotes in the hills above town.
How are you?
Your mom, of course, also has another errand for you to run. Gather some okra from the hills for her family's town-famous okra.
I really hope she's not my mother because she's actually hot. I can't imagine even being a kid and having a hot mother like that. I knew one kid, like I had one kid in my class who was actually like really super young. She wasn't even in her 30s. That was crazy. And man, the way this kid got treated, I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Okay, like that's it's problematic. I can already tell you that. My character will have long lush hair like Jason Momoa. Dude, what are you, an Alliance player? Get out of here. The hell?
Fish.
Shame on you, Christers. Only Alliance players
She
have
also
hair.
gives you a quest to go visit your class trainer to get some new spells.
Light be with you.
Then you book it out into the hills, where okra conveniently grows among the packs of coyotes. Skipping ahead through all the plant picking and wildlife massacre, you wrap things up and drop back down through the hills into town. The sheriff literally applauds at your return, totally taking your word for it that you actually killed any coyotes. Now that you've really earned his trust, he's got two final tasks to ask of you. One is an attempt to scare off an increasingly large gathering of murlocs by sending a little message, cutting off the head of their leader's mate. And while you're out there, check on the lighthouse keeper and his family to make sure the murlocs aren't bothering them.
Hello.
Your mom also has one more convenient errand, gathering some fish, possibly by beating the crap out of some murlocs. So, you head out west of town again, this time past DeMont's farm to the coast of Westfall. The lighthouse keeper welcomes you warmly, confiding in you that the gathering murlocs are definitely freaking him out. His family had watched in horror as a swarm of them tore through a passing merchant ship. Worse yet, it had been carrying necessary shipments of oil to keep the lighthouse up and running. If only there were a handsome, brave, bald young man that might retrieve some oil from the crates that have washed ashore.
He has to be bald.
You do what you do best. Get on one knee and pick through soggy wooden crates and start collecting oil. At your mother's behest, you also club some fishmen to death and steal their fish.
Man, it
You also
already
discover
looks
that
incredibly
Murloc
fun.
Combat at 500% speed sounds like someone's beating a chicken who is also actively drowning. Further down the beach, next to an asset that I didn't realize had these fucking annoying particle effects when I assembled the map, you find Murgla, made of Murkite, and engage her in life or death combat.
Just get her. Just get her. It's a fish. It's literally a fish. Just get it. Press heroic strike. Do heroic strike. Wait, he's accumulating basically almost no rage. It's fine. Got her.
After finishing a few more odds and ends, you return to the lighthouse for your reward.
How are
a ship's steering wheel, pulled from the wreckage, that somehow qualifies as a shield.
See you around.
The sheriff, the psychopath he is, literally jumps for joy as you hand him the severed head of a giant fish lady.
I feel like the sheriff is going to play like a villain role here. I feel like he's being a little bit too excited over you handing him some, I don't know, some corpses of like beasts or something. I don't know. I have a sussy feeling about this.
He rewards you handsomely with a choice of weaponry that I will now show off runway style.
Let's see. What the hell is this audio? Holy crap. This guy audio is like... it's so, like, finicky. It goes around from place to place. Jesus.
With that out of the way, you hand over your looted fish to your mom, who now dismisses you to rest for the evening.
Finally.
But then she's like, oh wait, actually I almost forgot.
A potential new faction?
Oh yeah, this totally slipped my mind, but some unknown hooded figure came by, asking for you today.
Have a good one.
He said to meet him in the basement of the inn or something. Have fun. But this should come as no surprise, for if you were aware of your surroundings, you would have no doubt seen the figures observing you from afar, hiding in corners where you would never think to look.
Oh!
Who are
Whoa!
they? How long have they been watching you? What do they want? You don't know, but you intend to find out.
Wait, that's cool.
Passing through the lively inn, you head through the back into the basement, where you find the hooded figure standing beside a swirling portal. He, in no uncertain terms, reminds you that you do not belong here and that it's time to leave immediately. He informs you that his associate will meet you on the other side to debrief. Before you pass through,
Yeah,
you
just go
notice
through
that
the portal.
stranger's part of a faction, the Collective. On the other side of the portal, you spawn directly on top of the NPC.
Wait, you're
because
an
I
orc
suck
now.
at entering numbers correctly. There you find Garrett, the Gaz Light. I wonder how he got that name. He tells you whatever you think you saw, you didn't. So you best just get moving along. From here, Bald But Cute is free to continue on with the rest of Durotar as planned. But he notices that the Gaz has a vendor window. Inside, he sees rewards which require certain items to purchase. What might those be?
Secret objectives.
If we step back in time, again, and speak to the innkeeper, we learn that she's quite overwhelmed tonight.
Hey there.
You offer to help, and she accepts. If you could take the keys from behind the counter and go clean the accommodations upstairs,
good one.
now is the perfect time. The guest is out of his room and here at the table.
Oh, it's Edwin Van Cleef and
grab the
Bazile.
keys and head upstairs. I couldn't find a better door, so bear with me on the absolutely nasty cell door that this inn has for their room.
Peculiar.
You step inside to see things in a clean condition, but noticing a few big chests, one of which sits partially open on the bed. You lift the lid to find the chest full of bright red bandanas. A note sits atop the pile reading, "Distribute with discretion. Signed, VC."
Van Cleef.
You pocket one of the bandanas and leave quickly before anyone catches you, securing one of the items that Gaz was seeking. Over in the town schoolhouse, observant adventurers might stumble across a dusty tome laying open in a corner near the podium. Blowing off the dust, it looks to be a translation guide for Murloc speak. If only you could find a Murloc that was interested in having a chat, instead of just ripping your eyes out of your head. Keen on pursuing this goal, you head back out to the coast and
Yeah,
notice
a 17
small island
IQ
not too
Murloc. You
far
need to
out
find
that
him.
could be worth investigating.
The only one. Yeah,
Lo and behold,
was there a friendly Murloc ever in World of Warcraft? I feel like there was, and I can't seem to remember. What? Like, Tiny Finn? Like, who was it? Like, who was it? I don't remember. Jesus. Was there ever a friendly Murloc? Guys, I can't seem to recall anything. Maybe I lost it. Maybe I'm old.
you find yourself face to face with a juvenile Murloc Cookie who is both surprised and overjoyed that you're able to
Captain
communicate with
Cookie.
him.
So
He
this is like in
confides
the
in you
past.
that he dreams of one day being the best chef in all the seas, but there's one problem. He doesn't know any recipes. Maybe you know of some human recipes that he could follow to start his culinary training arc?
Looking for something specific?
No, in Wrath of the Lich King,
How
there's some
are you?
Murloc rep.
Back in town,
Really?
you speak with the general supplies vendor who happens to be selling a cookbook containing all of
Safe crowd.
Westfall's best recipes. Cookie is brought to tears by your gift, feeling he is on the path to realizing his dream. As a reward, he hands you a damp piece of paper. It's his one and only recipe that he has ever come up with himself. Taking these 2 items back to the Gaz, he is willing to exchange them for things you can actually use. One is a cosmetic helm, just like the existing Red Defias mask, but no longer class locked to just rogues. And the other is a recipe teaching you to make Cookie's Delight, which provides an underwater breathing buff for 5 minutes.
Nice.
Okay, thanks for sticking with me so far. Last thing I want to cover is some of the underlying stories that this zone tells relative to existing plot lines in Classic. To wax poetical for just a second, I think a strength of Classic is the ability to quietly tell stories without shouting the plot out loud for the player.
Yeah.
Something I find retail to be especially guilty of nowadays.
Oh, what? It's Apple Toon's name? Shut the hell up. What are you talking about? I always wear a wig.
Examples like this crashed
Hater
racer in
Vinox?
Tanaris that has no associated quest.
Yeah, imagine playing World of Warcraft without having already figured everything out. That has to be one of the best aspects of Blizzard-made Classic Plus. I think, like, no joke, you hit the nail right on the head there. I think that the reason people are so excited for Classic Plus is because they want a fresh experience. Because World of Warcraft is a solved game. Even retail is like a solved game because everything is being data mined into oblivion. You already know what's everything's going to be like the moment it hits PTR. And you can't really have fun anymore like the good old days without having 700 different add-ons that tell you what to do, where to step, where to go. It's so debilitating. Like, people are just tired of it. They want something fresh. I know, because I want it. I'm assuming many people are like me and you guys. Right? It's just, we just want a fresh experience. We want stories like this. He actually done a very very good job at capturing the spirit of Classic with this, like, starting zone, with, like, the secret starting zone. Just have a chill quest, have a really great story. Is it the best? Like, no, but it's just so fun. It's just so fun to zone out, just read the text, and go through the motions. Just explore. Just explore. Even if the story is not that grand, it's really good experience. What? I drank soup so spicy I feel like I'm drunk? It's just so random. Yeah, everything is being solved and hyper-optimized is why I don't play Classic Era. I understand. I fully understand. I have so many fond memories of standing in school with my nerd friends discussing potential build of our WoW characters, or telling each other about some secret quest or stuff like that. Imagine how good that would be in today's climate. The moment a character comes out and, like, their talents are being revealed, everyone already have, like, set, like, the optimal path you need to go. Okay, this is what you need to build. If you do anything other like this, they divert from the main path. You're not going to be invited into groups because every single thing is just, we optimize the fun out of the game. Everyone is just taking it way too seriously. And that's why Classic Plus should be, like, a different thing. It should go a different route than retail has, and it should be its own thing. And I really hope that Blizzard can pull this off, but I know that I'm just deluding myself at this point.
Or event. On the other side of the mountain, in the Shimmering Flats, you can find the origin of the tracks, telling a little story for anyone looking hard enough. Or how in the ruins of Lordaeron, you can still see the bloodstains on the floor where Arthas killed his father.
It's crazy that I only recently learned about this. Only recently my friend told me, like, dude, look where you're stepping. Like, you actually have the Saints there. And I'm like, what? That's crazy. I never noticed that. It's insane. Like, it's almost like you can learn something about World of Warcraft each time you play. It's so littered with small stuff like this that makes the entire world better, even if you don't pay attention to it at first.
And dismantled the once strong kingdom. It's smaller, unhighlighted details like this that I wanted to bring into Old Westfall. Starting off small, you can find both Blanchy and Farmer Furlbrow in town. These are, of course, some of the first quest givers you find when coming to Westfall. True to lore, you can also find Stalvin Mistmantle, current headmaster of the Moonbrook Schoolhouse, but future child murderer and legend of Duskwood. Next, if you were to explore a bit more by the coast, you'd come across a mining crew, led in part by Miner Johnson, who would eventually defect or be forced to join the Defias mining operation.
Well met.
The overseer of the gang is Foreman Thistlenettle, who players may know as one of the mindless undead trapped forever in the tunnels of the dead mines. Down below is a bustling miners' union camp, resting after a day's work.
Yeah, surely they won't turn into undead.
They too will one day join their foreman as the mindless dead in the tunnels below Moonbrook.
Damn, that kind of sucks.
Stepping
doesn't
onto
sound
the
fun.
beach, we can do some hypothesizing over the outcome of the sheriff's idea to quell the rising Murloc population. In Classic, the ghost of Captain Grayson tells us that he bore witness to Old Murkeye, leading a raid of the lighthouse, slaughtering the lighthouse keeper and his family, potentially as an act of revenge for the brutal death of his mate. Lastly, and most significant of all,
Just find
the
another
subtle
fish.
hints that spell doom for all the residents of Westfall. At the inn, we find Edwin Van Cleef, future kingpin of the Defias Brotherhood, in conversation with Basil.
He did nothing wrong. Edwin Van Cleef did nothing wrong. He was done dirty by Stormwind. He should have been paid for the Mason's work. And he was right. He was right all along.
Thread, his right-hand man, who would come to lead the Defias Uprising in the Stormwind stockades. We also, of course, have Cookie, the renowned cook of the Defias crew. But off the beaten path, amidst the rolling hills of Westfall, explorers can find a group of exiled Stormwind stonemasons being recruited by Garrick Padfoot, who would come to lead the Defias incursion of Northshire Abbey. A similar scene takes place elsewhere, this time helmed by Benny Blanco, head honcho of the Defias occupation of the Furlbrow farmstead. Up in the hills above town, you might stumble across a scary sight. A lone ogre, exiled by his clan, has taken up residence. This is none other than Roxor, who would find a new home as foreman of the Defias mining operation.
Oh.
Out at the lighthouse, players may have noticed a pirate ship anchored just off the coast. Too far to see who's on board. But through some clever investigating, you find the lighthouse keeper's spyglass, which allows you to spot the ship's crew. You find none other than Mr. Smite, Sneed, and Captain Greenskin.
Classic. I always
All
love
of
the
these
the pilot to
details,
treader
which require
design.
players to engage with the world around them, to spot, tell a sad, dark story in contrast to the mundane main quest line of the Zone. It's a story of a doomed town, surrounded on all sides by a gathering storm. About a peaceful, content way of life that is soon to be forever stolen from the citizens of Westfall. Lives lost, families torn apart, due to conflicts that have nothing to do with them. About a place that was truly alive, now worthy of the namesake of the dungeon which lies below.
So good.
Dead.
Wow. Wow.
If you're still watching this video, thank you so much. To round
You're
this out, I
welcome.
want to walk through what I think some of the pros and cons of an experience like this might be in a world where we have Classic Plus. First pro is the introduction of a new faction. It opens a lot of doors without a lot of upfront answers. Who are they? What are their motives? How are they somehow able to travel through time? It leaves a lot of room for fleshing out and exploration that could unlock a lot of cool storytelling and gameplay.
Yeah, I have a lot to,
Another
I have a
is
lot
that
to
it
say about
opens
this.
the
I'm just
option
like kind
a
of
new
waiting.
leveling zone, but without locking you into a decision right at character creation. In retail, Blizzard introduced Exile's Reach as an alternative to the traditional leveling zones, but it forced you to pick one, with no choice to reverse course.
Bro, Exile Reach was so lame. Whenever I came back to retail to try it out, I tried Exile Reach on purpose to, like, you know, soak it in myself and understand what I'm doing. It was so bad. It felt like a mobile game ad. It was so bad. Like, it was truly the worst experience ever. Everything is light speed fast. You can't really even, like, understand what the hell you're doing. The story doesn't make any sense, and they have changed it, I think, like, a couple of times. It was just such a bad experience. I did not enjoy it at all. It wasn't even feeling like I was playing a game. It felt like I was just kind of going through the motion, and it was whatever. It's like go in a straight line. You're on a treadmill. You're on a treadmill, and it's an infinite loop. You're not doing anything.
With Old Westfall, players can freely move in and out of the experience at any time if they change their mind. Another cool perk is the ability for players to pick different races, but still play levels 1 through 5 together. I've definitely had times playing with friends where we each have different races in mind, but you have to compromise so that you can start out together.
No, I actually think that this is a bad one. I actually think that this is a con. I love that each race has its own zone, and I would have liked for each race to have its own story. So, for example, you choose a human and you got the Westfall story, just magnificent, perfect. If you choose to be, well, I guess an orc, maybe an orc. Okay, you know, maybe you choose an orc and you get to see like the desolation that was before they actually started, you know, their huts and actually built their zones and all of that. Because the orcs were incredibly dejected. They were like scattered, they were famished, they didn't have anything. They constantly got into like infights and all of that. So that could have been insane if you like got to experience that, because the entire land was barren. It was a desolate place. That can be like really, really cool if you get to see that.
Past level 5, though, players still have to figure out how to meet up. That means all the existing rites of passage, like Tauren hoofing it through the Barrens to reach Orgrimmar, or Night Elves risking it all going through the wetlands. Another pro is the idea of the unique quest rewards from the zone being talking pieces back in the open world. Anyone who played back in vanilla remembers the experience of seeing someone walking around with a cool piece of gear and whispering them, asking, yo, where did you get that? More recently, in Season of Discovery, players got to experience something similar at launch, seeing someone cast some crazy ability and reaching out to ask where they found that rune. Both the cosmetic Red Defias mask and many of the weapons from Old Westfall could be a similar thing, creating moments of organic connection for players who don't yet know about the secret level.
Damn, I didn't know Thrall was moving
like that. The last pro is that the zone isn't inventing something new. Instead, it's exploring an existing storyline from a new lens. Across the board...
That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Just expand on the already vast world of Warcraft. I mean, we have a lot of stories that were lost through the ages. Classic Plus is the perfect opportunity to actually explore them and maybe reinvent and take them in a new direction that the original idea had. Like, you should definitely get that. Like, you should finish the Missing Ambassador quests. Everyone is begging for that. It was like the Varian quest. Yeah, or sorry, the Missing Diplomat. No, wait, am I, I'm confusing the two, sorry. What was the Varian quest? How was it named? Was it like Missing Person? I'm confusing the two. The Varian Rin quest, basically. The Missing King, the Lost King, whatever. I forgot the name of it. Just, I got confused, I think, between the two. But everyone wants it back. Everyone wants it to be completed instead of you doing, like, half the quest. And it's like, okay, we're gonna take it from here. Like, no. Let us finish it. Fully. Let us see him as Logosh, as, like, the arena fighter. That can be dope. And his entire crew with Valera. And then you had, like, the druid and the orc, I think. That can be insanely cool, and they need to do that.
I'm hoping that Blizzard uses the opportunity of Classic Plus to go deeper on the world that the original game developed, in addition to creating new stories, of course. There are big ones, like Mount Highjaw, or what's up with the Instance Portal and Stormwind.
It was a housing feature. They never got to complete it. They only got it in Midnight, unironically, which is, well, now you have to pay real-life money to not look poor. Great.
But I think equally as valuable are smaller stories, ones that develop the entire open world into something with more depth. And finally, I want to offer some critiques to my own ideas. Pretty much the entire concept is based on the assumption that players have experienced the game, namely current day Westfall and the Deadmines dungeon. This makes it pretty unfriendly and potentially extremely confusing.
So explain it better. Just assume that someone is new and playing the game for the first time, and it's like, oh, I don't know what Westfall is, so, okay, great, I get to play it from the very beginning, before it was destroyed. I don't think it's like a con, I think it's a pro. I think it's a massive W if they actually do that. Like, that's an incredible idea. You get to play from the start. That's the best thing in the world.
New players. Though, I would counter my own critique by saying that new players probably wouldn't stumble into this secret zone. Another is one that I truly believe. One of Classic's strongest values is that it required you to make choices. Retail has become notoriously homogenous. Classes can pretty much all do everything, and faction or racial conflicts and differences are nowhere near as pivotal to the world as they once were. In Classic, if you want to be a shaman, you need to be Horde. If you want to be a paladin, you need to be Alliance. While not as impactful in terms of gameplay, I think the same idea rolls into race selection. When if you want to play an undead, you're making the choice to level in a spooky forest. And if you want to be a night elf, you're going to be questing on top of a giant fucking
Purple
tree.
land.
These decisions help to create investment in the world and your character, something that a new leveling zone potentially devalues. And my final con is that
So make a different one for each race. Problemo solved.
introducing time travel is a
Wait, what? Do you think less of Blizzard now that you know they aren't really base breast milk thieves? Man, I don't know. Listen, I've been calling them cube crawlers and refrigerator for so long. I don't know if I can get it out of my, like, lexicon. I'm just, damn, dude, I'm like, I'm feeling so dejected right now. They destroyed my life. But to be fair, all of this is not really confirmed. We still have to wait and see if, like, it's actually true or not, right? Because we've seen some pictures. We've seen pictures and we've seen text messages. So is it all false? We just kind of have to wait and see.
slippery slope. Time travel has introduced a lot of troublesome plot holes in retail, from is Archimon dead if we killed him in a past version of Draenor, to if Iridikron
No, he's alive as long as Blizzard needs content. There you go, I solved it for you.
can go back in time and steal a powerful artifact for Xalatath, can't we just do the same thing to fight back?
Feet
If this
lady.
was to be explored in Classic Plus, it would need to be done carefully to not introduce these same quirks.
Bro, imagine if Blizzard pulls off a Classic Plus and they put in the Jailer to justify Shadowlands. That would be dope. I'm not gonna... I'm not... And they put, like, the Draxi race just to, like, justify it. Man, that can be so funny. That would be hilarious, actually. Imagine. But, wait, anyway, this is the end of the video?
If you've made it here with me to the end, from the bottom of both mine and Bald but Cute's hearts, thanks for watching. Please leave any thoughts, feedback, or criticisms of the idea, or just about Classic Plus in general. And until next time, stay safe out there.
Damn, incredible video. Incredible video. I'm gonna leave you guys a link immediately so you can give him some love yourself. It was such a great video. There we go. I'm gonna link you guys. We still have much more to watch, but yeah, we got a lot for today. But I am going to link you guys. I'm going to link you guys on Twitch too. It's just such a great video. Go show him some love. Like, truly a fantastic content creator. Damn, that's the first video I actually watched from him. That's impressive. My god, it was so well thought out. Like, he actually built this entire world by himself. And man, I'll never be like, oh my god, it's crazy. It will always impress me how much the fans of World of Warcraft care about the game more than actual Blizzard. It's just insane to me. They're willing to do this for free because it's fun and they want to share their ideas and they want to explore, and they're actual better world builders than whatever Labubu Millennial and Wine Mom you have on the Blizzard crew. Blizzard should really start hiring their fans again. Yeah, do you think Blizzard knows that if they disappoint people with Classic Plus, it can be the beginning of the end of Classic WoW? I think people will play rehashed garbage every single time, because right now the problem with World of Warcraft is not Blizzard itself, actually. It's zero competition. I think that if Classic WoW had real competition and someone made a really good MMORPG, no one would have touched World of Warcraft. I genuinely believe that. But Blizzard right now is lying fat, and because they're allowed to. People are allowing them because there is no competition and people vote with their wallets. If there's nowhere else to go, all the dejected MMO players are instantaneously going to be funneled into the Battle.net account. There is nothing you can do against that. Literally nothing. The problem is no alternative. If there was an alternative, they would have played. So, will be the end of Classic? No. Will it, like, deter players from playing? Yeah, the numbers will go down, obviously. But people would still pay money for Blizzard, and Blizzard would keep making millions. They would not, like, go broke over that. The only way Blizzard goes broke is competition. Like happened with Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals siphoned every last player out of Overwatch, and immediately Blizzard had to do something about it, and they came out with the best patch they ever had for Overwatch. Same thing with Diablo and D4 and Path of Exile. Same thing. I think the problem is that servers like Turtle and Ascension make so much money that they have no incentive to go work for Blizzard. Well, they're out of job now, so there's the incentive. They have no work. They're cooked. Blizzard got them. They have to work for Blizzard. But I don't think Blizzard wants them, because that would be an admission of fault, an admission of incompetency. And Blizzard would never take that L, because they know Turtle WoW and Ascension made product 10 times better than they ever could. There will be no end for classic WoW. We all just long for a fix to our addiction. We will always chase the unicorn. Yes, absolutely, exactly, exactly. Yeah, PoE, my love. Old Flame is so good. Yeah, many people are on PoE. I wish I had time to play it, but basically that's like the gist of it, right? People will always play classic, and they will always look for something. You can just pray to God that Blizzard would listen to the fans and people like this who create such amazing content. Like, I would have definitely loved to play a story from level 1 to 5 that kind of gives me a ground for a previous, a previous zone, or a zone that didn't exist, or, sorry, zone that was lost to the ages. I think that's incredible. And also, by this way of storytelling, you can explore so many areas we've never explored in World of Warcraft. That could have been dope. Like, you could have experienced Darkshire and, like, Duskwood before, all the bad stuff kind of happened. You can do all of that, and there's so many incredible small stories to tell through it. I think people would be instantaneously hooked. Regardless, incredible video. My god.